All right, let's be honest. You're probably here because you're dealing with footstep noise, people talking loudly, or creaking floor. And you're probably wondering, can I do that for $20? I've had a lot of people ask me, and it's really impossible to soundproof a floor for $20. But before you click away, there are some things that you can do to mitigate and reduce some of the noise that will go from upstairs to downstairs. And these things can cost from $20 upwards to $100. But let's start with the cheaper options, and also what type of noise are you soundproofing for? Are you soundproofing for the footstep noise, for the creaking noise? I'll be talking about both. One thing that you can do to mitigate the footstep noise, it's more of a sound deadening measure, is to have a felt pad underneath your existing carpet, a runner or an area rug, something that is thick enough that it will actually absorb some of the footstep noise. This works especially well in a high traffic area, let's say a hallway. If you already have a runner, perfect. It's going to save you some money. And then you buy this thick felt pad, you place it underneath the runner, and it will mitigate some of the footstep noise going downstairs. Next one, if you're dealing with not so much footstep noise, but people talking, loud TV, a lot of the time that noise is actually coming through a doorway heading towards the lower level. Hopefully you do have a doorway there and it's just not an open area like a second level going to the first level. If it's going to the basement and there's a door, look at the door, see if there's any gaps and cracks. Now, there's two ways to go about this. You can seal those gaps and cracks because, of course, anywhere that you can see light, there's noise that's going to easily travel through those gaps and cracks. However, you will be restricting some of the airflow entering and leaving the room, so make sure to be aware of that. But if you just want to soundproof that door temporarily, bottom door sweep, a U-shaped door sweep is the one that I recommend because it's easy to slide on, slide off. You cut it to size and it blocks the noise for when you want to block the noise, and when it really doesn't matter, you just remove it. Self-adhesive weather strip that is thin enough to fit where the door meets the door jamb and where it closes. But also, if you don't want to seal the door at all, you can change that door from a hollow to a solid door. Most houses, they have hollow core doors. That door right there will let a lot of noise right through. So if you change the door from a hollow to a solid, you can actually do that under $100. A lot of people think, how can I soundproof the floor? But really the problem is that there's a lot of noise going right through the door. Now, if you have creaking, a lot of creaking noise, which is quite annoying, you can get rid of those. If you have wood floors or laminated floors, you can get rid of that with talcum powder or even powdered graphite. But here I have talcum powder. All you do is where you find the creak, wood is rubbing against each other when you apply pressure to it. If you spread a little bit of talcum powder in that crack, the powder is going to go down where the rubbing is occurring, and a lot of the times it's going to make that squeaking noise completely disappear. If you want to spend a little bit more than $20, let's bump it up to $100. Now you're opening the door to a lot more opportunities. One thing that you can do that blocks a lot more noise, also works well at impact noise because it also absorbs noise, is something called mass-loaded vinyl. That comes in a roll, it's very dense, it's packed with a lot of mass, and it's very thin. So when it says 1 or 2 pounds per square foot, it's literally 2 pounds per square foot. So just think, if you're buying a bigger roll, because the more you buy, the cheaper it is going to arrive at your house and it's going to be quite heavy. So make sure to have a friend to help you. Now this works better when the mass-loaded vinyl is in between the floorboards and the actual floor. So if you're renovating or buying, just make sure to not forget about mass-loaded vinyl. But really the only way to completely get rid of footstep noise, if you add a mass, it's not really going to do much for that. It's going to reduce it, of course, a bit, but you're not going to eliminate it. The only way that you can actually eliminate those footstep noise from going from upstairs to downstairs is using something called a resilient channel. Now, this is not one thing to note, however, it has to be installed directly onto the joist. So what resilient channel does is it creates an air gap between your upstairs and downstairs level. So when your footstep noise hits the floor, it's that vibrational noise that goes from upstairs down through your ceiling and you can hear it. And then you add your drywall directly onto the Resilient channel. If you do want to install it, I would suggest hiring someone, and also make sure to ask them for reference, or at least if they've installed Resilient channel in the past. But it just goes to show that you can go with $20 items, $10 items to mitigate the problem, maybe $50, but you can also go to around $200, $300, $500 to really eliminate the problem. If you do want to find more useful suggestions, watch this video right there. If you're looking for ways to soundproof a room, door, window, floor, ceiling, for about $100, watch that video. It's pretty good. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, assuming you subscribed.